So these are the elderberry bushes. They've lost all of their leaves now, as you can see. And I'm going to prune these back. And I'm also going to prune back the slightly smaller bush over here past the compost pile. And I'm going to prune back that elderberry bush as well, which is back there. So yeah. So you can see I've cut down quite a bit. It may even seem a little extreme at first, but I think elderberry bushes hold up really well to pruning. So I think we'll see in the springtime. But you know, these hadn't been pruned in a long time. You can see I took down a lot of pretty big branches. There were things that were you know, really kind of crossed. So there were big branches that were crossed together like this. You can see where it was rubbing together. That's never good for trees, so or bushes. So you can see some of them, you know, where I've cut out some pretty good sized branches. These were all rubbing together, and I think honestly that this will actually end up growing better now in the spring. So we'll see, but yeah, that's what they look like now. Cut them back quite a bit, and yeah, hopefully they'll grow back and give us a lot of berries in the summer. The other reason why I wanted to cut them back a lot shorter was just that it's very impractical going really high up to get the berries. So it's a lot better if they're all kind of like around head height to pick them. It's a lot easier. So we got the last elderberry bush pruned now as well. And as I mentioned in the previous elderberry pruning video, what I'm going to do with all these branches, all of them, is I'm going to use them as kind of like a hugel quilter kind of thing, like a base. So I'm going to chop them up probably a little bit smaller, but not even spend too much time on it. And you know, when I finish the retaining wall on this part here, I'm going to start putting the branches kind of layered at the top. Then I'm going to cover it with some more you know, compost and you know, stuff like that from the back, like that old grass and just rotting stuff, and then maybe some more like horse manure or something like that, and then just put some dirt on it. And I'm going to raise the level of this entire part at the back here a little bit, and just hopefully make it a lot more fertile. And you know, I do plan on building that retaining wall kind of higher up there as well, so it'll be good for fill anyway. And yeah, it's just good like organic matter that you can, you know, reuse instead of sending it to the curb. So I think it's really important that people you know, don't get rid of the treasure that comes out of your you know, your earth, your yard, when you have the leaves falling down. As Brad Lancaster says, they're called leaves because you're supposed to leave them. They provide nutrients and you know, minerals back into the soil. So like here, you know, underneath this tree, I'm going to actually pile up some more leaves. I want to be able to harvest a lot of mulberries next you know, spring, and I want there to be nutrition for this tree. So you know, when I'm gathering up all my leaves, you know, right now I'm putting them in the compost pile or putting them around trees or bushes. That's kind of the best thing to do with it. And you know, it protects the plants against the cold, helps them to, you know, come out and you know, start growing in the spring a lot sooner. So yeah, I'm going to trim this mulberry tree back a little bit too, and then maybe call it a day because it's getting kind of late. So that's it. It's all trimmed up, and yeah, in the spring it'll start growing again. Time to prune the plum trees. So I'm going to cut back quite a few of these branches. There's a lot of overlapping branches and things that are rubbing together, so I'm going to cut back a lot of that. And yeah, I may even kind of go up to some of the top branches and cut those down too, because it's really impractical. You can't really get up there to get the fruit anyway. And yeah, I just want to kind of bring them back down a little bit lower. We'll see how that goes. So you can see I've thinned it out quite a bit here, and I still got some branches up here that I want to kind of cut back, and I took down some of the bigger branches up here, but I still really want to probably cut, I don't know, most of that off, because the tree's not doing too well the way it was anyway. And I figure basically I can either get it lower down to the ground and hopefully take better care of it, or I don't know, I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll have to cut them out if they're not going to start producing fruit well. So I mean, they've been neglected for a long time. These trees haven't been looked after. I'm hoping that they'll come around a bit in the spring. You can see some of the branches that I've cut down here, quite a bit of them. And like I said, I'm gonna have to come back because it's getting kind of late here, and I'll have to do some more from the top here and also from some of those. But I'll show you guys how that goes later. Back again, second day, finished up the trimming here of the trees. Pruned them all back pretty heavily, I would say. I hope it's okay. I'm still kind of learning this stuff, and to be honest, I really haven't had time to research this too much. So yeah, maybe next time I'll try to be a little bit better about it. But right now I really needed to take down a lot of the tree because it was just getting out of control and starting to hit the neighbors, you know, like garage there, and didn't want it to be getting that high. So yeah, I cut down a lot of the stuff, as you can see from the top here, and yeah, I kind of cleared up a little bit of the growth between the two trees as well, because there was a lot of overlap. So I think it's going to be okay. You can see everything's pruned now, all the elderberry bushes. There's a lot of cuttings here. Sorry for the lighting. I think it's really hard to see, but maybe this will be a little bit better. Yeah, I got a lot of the you know, tree down over here. I'm gonna end up chopping this up into smaller pieces. Same thing with the elderberry cuttings. And you know, this is the other one that got pruned back. And then, you know, this is where I want to do another retaining wall here, and I'm gonna actually end up using all this wood and all the brush and debris and a lot of our compost and stuff to build up this section. I really want to get this kind of raised up and try and flatten it out as much as, you know, is reasonable, and then I'll be able to plant in here as well, because right now the only thing that grows there is pretty much the grass and the stinging nettle. So that'll be, you know, another step. But hopefully you know, you've enjoyed watching this. There will be a lot more work to do here. Obviously I got to chop up all this stuff, and I'll let you guys know, you know, as I progress how it goes. And I still obviously need to do the retaining wall down here too. So yeah, a lot of work to do. Check back in, make sure to subscribe if you're not already done so, if you've not already subscribed, and then yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.